Okay, guys, snuggle up. Our next spooky story from Campfire Tales is called The Ghost Handprints. Woo! Let's see what this one is about. My wife Jill and I were driving home from a friend's party late one evening in early May. It was a beautiful night with a full moon. We were laughing and discussing the party when the engine started to cough and the emergency light went on. We had just reached the railroad crossing where, according to local legend, a school bus full of children had stalled on the tracks right in front of an oncoming freight train. Everyone on board the bus had been killed, and the ghosts of the children were reported to haunt this intersection, protecting people from danger. Not wanting a repeat of the train crash, I hit the gas pedal trying to get our car safely across the tracks before it broke down completely. But the dad-blamed car wouldn't cooperate. It stalled in the dead center of the railroad tracks. Suddenly, the railroad signal started flashing, and a bright light appeared a little way down the track, bearing down on our car. I turned the key and hit the gas pedal again, trying to get the car started. "Hurry up, Jim, the train's coming!" My wife began to panic. I immediately broke out into a sweat and tried the engine again. Nothing. "We have to get out," I yelled to Jill, reaching for the door handle. "I can't!" she shouted desperately. She was struggling with her seatbelt. We'd been having trouble with it recently. She'd been stuck more than once, and I'd had to help her get it undone. I threw myself across the stick shift and fought with the recalcitrant seatbelt. My hands were shaking and sweat poured down my body as I felt the rumble of the approaching train. It had seen us and was whistling sharply. I risked a quick glance over my shoulder. The engineer was trying to slow down, but he was too close to stop. Before he hit us, I redoubled my efforts. Suddenly, the car was given a sharp shove from behind. Jill and I both gasped. I fell into her lap as the car started to roll forward, slowly at first, then gaining speed. The back end cleared the tracks just a second before the train roared past. As the car rolled to a stop on the far side of the tracks, the engineer stuck his head out the window of the engine and waved a fist, doubtless shouting something nasty at us for scaring him. That was close," Jill gasped as I struggled upright. "How did you get the car moving?" "I didn't," I said. "Someone must have helped us." I jumped out of the door on the driver's side and ran back to the tracks to thank our rescuer. In the bright moonlight, I searched the area looking for the person who had pushed our car out of the path of the train. There was no one there. I called out several times, but no one answered. After a few moments' struggle with her seatbelt, Jill finally freed herself and joined me. "Where is she?" she asked. "There's no one here," I replied, puzzled. "Maybe he's just shy about being thanked," Jill said. She raised her voice. "Thank you, whoever you are," she called. The wind picked up a little, swirling around us, patting our hair and shoulders like the soft touch of a child's hand. I shivered and hugged my wife tightly to me. We had almost died tonight, and I was grateful to be alive. "Yes, thank you," I repeated loudly to our mystery rescuer. As we turned back to our stalled vehicle, I pulled out my cell phone, ready to call for a tow truck. Beside me, Jill stopped. staring at the back of our car. "Jim, look!" she gasped. I stared at our vehicle. Scattered in several places across the back of our car were glowing handprints. They were small handprints, the kind that adorn the walls of elementary schools all over the country. I started shaking as I realized the truth. Our car had been pushed off the tracks by the ghosts of the school children killed at this very location. The wind swept around us again, and I thought I heard an echo of childish voices whispering, "You're welcome," as the wind patted our shoulders and arms. Then it died down, and the handprints faded from the back of the car. Jill and I clung together for a moment in both terror and delight. Finally, I released her, and she got into the car, while I called the local garage to come and give us a tow home. Well, that was kind of spooky. Love you guys. Sleep tight.